This is Grunt to Groan, sales lessons learned from professional wrestling. Coming to you from the Delaware Wrestling Thunderdome, I am your host, Benjamin Burrows.
I am one voice that stands alone. I am one choice to man the throne. Stand guard and take shots, give it all I got. All I got is this microphone.
And what a great and glorious day it is to be out selling. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to allow me to communicate with you through this platform. This is a surreal and a bucket list moment for me, a dream that in a million years I never thought would come true. To be able to talk with you through a digital platform like podcasting, it is special for me. And I want to thank you because it is truly an honor and a privilege. We are coming to you from the Delaware Wrestling Thunderdome. This is our first Grunt to Groan podcast. And you know, I'm a sales professional who has to work each and every day, prospecting new business, creating presentations, presenting my products and my services. Every single day I have to close business and capture share of wallet. I have a quarterly quota that I must meet. I have a yearly quota that I must meet. And to be able to share with you the experiences, the highs and the lows and the successes and the failures. Again, it is a dream come true. And as a sales professional, I know that my success is due to the fact that I have a great sales support team. And I've been fortunate throughout my 25-year career as a sales professional to have great support teams around me. And this whole Grunt to Groan project is no different. I have a great support team around me. And if you would afford me the time and allow me to say thanks right now, that's what I'd like to do. First and foremost, I want to thank the producer of this podcast and my good friend, Dave the Ray. Dave and I have been hanging and banging for the last 30 years. Dave was my first engineer and my first producer when I started my broadcasting career 3 decades ago. He has suffered the highs and the lows with me and has always been there for me. Dave, you're a great friend. Thank you. It was Dave's idea for us to put the podcast together to support the book, Grunt to Groan, Sales Lessons Learned from Professional Wrestling. I also want to thank my family for giving me the time and the space and the support and the grace to write a book. Again, I'm a sales professional. I have to work 8 to 10 hours a day to be successful. And my family afforded me the opportunity to come home after work and seclude myself and immerse myself into my writing. And this meant many long and lonely nights for my wife. This meant great tolerance from my son, my daughter-in-law, and my grandsons. I'd be writing in my iPad at soccer games, at restaurants, in the lobby of the movie theater. And they were so gracious. So to my lovely bride, thank you very much. To my son and my daughter-in-law and my 3 grandsons, thank you very, very much. I also want to thank the wrestlers who participated in the book Grunt to Groan. You know, most of the interviews that I had scheduled were for 20 to 30 minutes, but each and every one of them went over an hour. And each professional wrestler was so willing to share how their in-ring success is parlayed into business and sales success. And then they shared unbelievable stories, historical moments about iconic characters. And I just can't thank them enough for that. Diamond Dallas Page, thank you so very much. 3-time World Heavyweight Champion, WWE Hall of Famer, and the king of DDP Yoga. The stories he shared about the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, are priceless. And I can't wait to share them in the book and through this podcast. Nikita Koloff and Koloff Ministries, thank you so very much. Nikita shared with me how his wrestling career prepared him for his ministry. And he shared great stories of Ivan Koloff and Don Kernodle and Ric Flair. Ricky Santana, a 14-year veteran of sales in one of the most competitive verticals in our industry, automotive sales. He shared with me how he has been able to obtain and maintain success with Moss Automotive in Tampa, Florida. He also shared some unbelievable and great stories of Andre the Giant. Brad Kohler, the innovator, inventor, manufacturer, and sales representation for the Hitter Combo System. An MMA legend and former professional wrestler. Thank you for the stories you shared about all those wrestlers who came out of Minnesota. The Road Warriors and Kurt Hennig and Jesse the Body Ventura. Patricia Summerlin, a.k.a. Sunny, the California Girl, from the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling Glow. Thank you for sharing your broadcasting successes, your property management successes, and the stories of the LA wrestling scene with some of the greats, Dick the Bruiser, Pat Patterson, Freddie Blassie. I want to thank Daniel Richards, a.k.a. the Progressive Liberal, an up-and-coming independent wrestler, Tyler Steele, the creative force behind Primal Conflict Wrestling, which promotes in Northern Virginia and the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia. I want to thank Evan Ginsberg, the associate producer of the Academy Award-winning film The Wrestler. And I want to thank Dem Boys from Sandy Fork, Delaware. They are my neighbors. Mark and Jay, the Briscoe brothers. Current Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions. They've held those belts on 9 separate occasions. And I want to thank Bill Apter. Bill Apter is my hero from my childhood. He is the man I want to be. He is loved and adored by everybody in professional wrestling. He has captured some of the most iconic professional wrestling photographs. He has written about some of the greatest events. He's an historian. He's a gentleman. He's a scholar. Bill Apter, you're my hero. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you, my peers and my counterparts in this great profession of sales. I have great love and great respect for you, for what you do every day, for the highs and the lows and the successes and the failures that you win and suffer through. And I believe, and I wrote this in the book, that you are the great American thunder on which this country rolls. Because nothing happens until something is sold. You don't need to manufacture anything unless you sell something. You don't need to warehouse anything unless you sell something. You don't need to ship or bill or service anything unless you sell something. Very good friend of mine, Matt Kaczynski, a.k.a. The Running Man. I met him 10 years ago. One of the first things he said to me 10 years ago was, you know, Ben, nothing happens until something is sold. I talked with Matt just a week ago, and he ended our conversation with, you know, Ben, nothing happens unless something is sold. Unless you're selling something. You know, in 2016, our national GDP was over $18 trillion, and consumer spending accounted for over 71%. Americans are buying because you are selling. To prove this point, the USA Today printed an article entitled 10 Best Selling Products of All Time. There have been 344 million PlayStations sold because you were selling. There have been 40.7 million Toyota Corollas sold because you were selling. 211 million iPads have been sold because you were selling. 516 million iPhones have been sold because you were selling. 350 million Rubik's Cubes have been sold because you were selling. These products sold because you were prospecting new business every day, preparing presentations every day, presenting your products and goods every day. You were closing business and capturing share of wallet every single day. And you might be wondering, how could this compare in any way to professional wrestling? Well, you know, in professional wrestling, nothing happens until the professional wrestler makes it happen. You know, promotions can hype an event, and they can advertise an event. They can rent the building, build the ring, set up the chairs, sell tickets, and turn on the lights. But nothing happens until the professional wrestler makes it happen. Nothing happens until the professional wrestler makes the event come alive. The same is true in professional sales, because nothing happens until you make it happen. So with that, I want to close our very first podcast of Grunt to Groan, Sales Lessons Learned from Professional Wrestling. I do want to hear from you, so please reach out to me. My email is greatamericanthunder@gmail.com, greatamericanthunder@gmail.com. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, Benjamin Burrows, and you can follow me on Twitter at Great American Thunder, at Real Ben Burrows. Remember, guys, I love each and every one of you. I have great respect for what you do. You are the Great American Thunder on which this country rolls, because nothing happens until something is sold. So quit listening to me and go on out and sell something.
I am one voice that stands alone. I am one choice to man the throne. Stand guard and take shots, give it all I got. All I got is this microphone.